the holiday season, I guess, right? This is I used to call this bulking season. Like bulking season was anywhere from like late September until like April. It's like bulking season. And then after that, I would be like, all right, let's lean out. Let's focus on leaning out. Just kind of eating whatever. Bulking for me was like eating whatever and like aimlessly, not aimlessly, that's better. That's a weird, bad term. Eating it without less of a priority of like trying to make sure that I'm staying within my like caloric limit, making sure that I'm doing things, and really focusing a lot more on like major compound lifts and like bigger movements. So I would use that energy and just lift really heavy in the winter. And then in the few months of the summer when I was trying to like be a little more lean and like, you know, be bathing suit ready, I would
tube top ready.
Yeah, tube top ready. A Speedo ready. You know, look up my Instagram, you'll see me in a Speedo.
Or just Google Matt April Speedo.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't know.
I don't know what will come up there. Be
Maybe
careful.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Be careful. But it'll be all about having heavy lifting because we have all this extra energy, right? You're taking in more calories. You have extra energy. Let's use it. So I'm lifting really heavy, and that's always has served me well because who wants to focus on like following a very specific diet plan, not to say that you have to follow a diet plan, but like who wants to follow that during the holidays? Like you want to be able to, you want to be eating and be merry, like you said, and be flexible and enjoy the moment, right? So I think so today we're going to talk about that, right? We're going to talk a little more about compound lifts.
Yeah, it's a great topic.
And we're going to talk probably a little bit about eating and how it ties into how a lot of our members want to frame lifting and working out and that goal of like trying to lose weight and trying to change their body composition.
Right. Yeah. And so using compound lifts as almost like almost like an analogy. If you're bulking during the winter months, you can almost compare that to like hibernating. We'll say we're packing in the energy, right?
Yeah.
But instead of sleeping and, like hibernating like a squirrel or something. I don't know. Do squirrels hibernate? Is that a thing?
I have no idea.
Squirrels are out in the winter, right? Idea. They usually wake up.
I have no idea.
They're up and about. I think they just store their nuts, right?
I don't ever see them in the snow though. Do you ever see that? They're hibernating probably, right?
I guess, I don't know.
They hibernate.
Man, we are not the best at like...
Yeah, unicorn.
Yeah.
Alysha would be like, unicorn.
But like instead of thinking about sleeping while you're consuming and bulking, quote unquote bulking, you're compound lifting, and that's your way of, and not to say that you're not compound lifting when you're not bulking, but that's a great way to get rid of some of that energy because gosh, do you need it when you're doing those lifts? Yeah. And so to clear the air, this is probably important for people who are listening. What's a compound lift? Like why? I mean, maybe we should start there. Do you want to take that or do you want me to take this?
Let's make it a team effort.
Okay.
So compound lift, for the super simple version of it, is any major exercise that's going to recruit the most amount of muscles for that movement. So a squat, right?
Great example.
A deadlift.
Beautiful example.
Even bench press and like things like bent over rows. Mm-hmm. Those require a lot of control, a lot of recruitment. So recruitment meaning like you are just like making them all work together at one time. So you have to mindfully think about it and not just go through the motions of exercise.
Right. Spreading the strength across the body instead of just trying to isolate it to like one little muscle. Hence the name, right? Again, compound. So, and I think even more so, compound comes from meaning compound joint movement, right? You're doing multiple joints are moving at the same time as opposed to just one joint moving. For instance, people who are like, joints moving, what is he talking about? Picture yourself holding a dumbbell in your right hand, and you're going to curl it up and put it back down. That's called a bicep curl for anybody who's like, oh, I know what that's called. It's called a bicep curl. Or when you go to drink a beer, right? The beer drinking motion, lifting it up from the table to pour into your mouth.
Are you doing more of like a...
Right?
I guess you're always going to be bending your elbow more.
Yeah, right. I know it doesn't look like this. Yeah. Let's imagine you've got a stein. In the movies, the Germans always have the big old steins.
Is that what it's called?
Right? Yeah, they grab it by the handle and they glug, 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 right? There's your beer drinking motion, right? So picture that. That's an isolated movement. We'll call that. Versus the compound movement, which is what Matt was describing earlier, which is this multi-joints moving at the same time. That was good.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah.
And so for us, when we're talking about coaching our members here, we try to build our program around compound movements. So you'll always see it every single day, every single week. There's always going to be a squat or a deadlift or a row or a bench press, like one of those four, if not maybe two of those things in the program for the day. And a lot of people get caught up in this idea of like needing to have variety, right?
Yeah.
People think like, oh, like you see it on Instagram, which is terrible. You see it on YouTube. You see it everywhere. Like multiple really fit people doing lots of crazy exercises that most of us have we should have no, like you should not even be considering doing those. Nothing's going to benefit you from doing those things. They're fun. Like I've been guilty of it. Like I'll find things like back, especially like early, like after I had graduated college, it was early adult years. I was like looking for every new thing to try, and I would do it. Like I remember seeing someone doing pistol squats on a kettlebell handle. And if you look back through like my Instagram, I was doing those things. I was like with my foot along the long part of the kettlebell handle doing pistol squats.
As if you were balancing on like a tightrope?
I was balancing on the kettlebell handle. So I'd be using like an 88-pound kettlebell.
A bigger
like something
handle.
really big that would move around, a bigger handle. But I was still trying to do squats on those handles.
Wow.
Like, because I saw someone doing it, I was like, wow, that's got to be, that's
Talk about
super.
risk reward though.
I mean, yeah.
Jeez.
It's not,
if you screw up, that's a big risk,
it's
right?
It's not worth it. It's not worth it looking back. It's like
the payout. It's really just an athletic accomplishment more than anything. It's like, I did it.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Now what are you going to do with it?
And it's the same thing with so many other, fitness facilities and whatnot, where they have these multiple movements going on with one exercise. I think a really popular one that we don't do here, like, man, I don't think we've done it like in the entire year of 2021, maybe not even in the past 2 years, have we done burpees? Like that's not something burpees, I mean, our members probably are really happy that we don't do that, like, because there's no, like, we don't need to be doing burpees. Yeah. Like, and like, so, but you see these other, like, these like, boot camp places around here, everywhere, that are having their clients or their adult members or anybody, even their athletes. I mean, athletes set aside, let's just talk about adults.
Yeah.
You don't need to be doing a burpee with a bicep curl and an overhead press and all these other things. Like, yeah, okay, you're going to burn a lot of calories, but like, you're also going to risk versus reward, right?
Risk reward, man.
Like is it really worth it? Or should we just really focus on like doing that really good squat and then doing a really good push up and then maybe doing a little hop?
If we know we can expend the same amount of energy in those compound lifts versus the burpee, then yeah, I think it's a better idea to shoot for the safer, more functional option. How often in your everyday life are you doing a burpee?
Right?
Not to say that there's no time and place for it. I think you did a great job of saying, maybe there is a time and a place for that. And maybe you want to work up to that. Maybe we make that a goal for some folks. That's fine. You want to make it a goal to do a burpee? That's great.
Sure.
But accomplishing those other things first is really important. I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's got to be a priority for people. Like one of our main philosophies here at Bent on Better is move well so you can move often, right? Yeah. So we're always telling people like, let's do that really well. Let's back off. Like how many times have we seen someone grab a weight that they, we love that ambition and we love it. It's so great when people think and believe in themselves that they can go for something bigger, but then they're doing the exercise and like, it does not look good. It does not look safe. And for us, we're like, we'll say something like, hey, like, let's just take our time here and be really mindful. And that's just our really polite way and professional way of saying, like, that's not going to help you long term.